What is good, guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to jump higher without jumping. Things that you can do from anywhere at home to make you jump higher, but you don't even need to jump. What? Let's go.
Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Coach Steve here with ILoveBasketballTV. If you're new here, subscribe because we do new videos every single week to help you get your bounce up. And I want you guys to be the ones dunking, not getting dunked on. We got to do the dunking. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to give you 4 things today. And the first one I'm going to start with is the arm swing. So I have a chair here. You could sit. You could even just do it standing. But it's really focusing on just the arm swing, because when you jump for the rim, so when you go for a jump, one of the biggest components is the arm swing. And I don't have a ball, and when you're just trying to increase your vertical, you're using a big arm swing, but you need a strong arm swing. One, to jump with your arms when you're just going for a lob or just going for the rim or just jumping, but you need it strong to be able to thrust the ball up. So you can use a ball if you have one, or a medicine ball, just like that, snap me in. And so with the medicine ball, you can just throw it up. That's one thing you can do, and just throw it as high as you can. But if you don't have room, if you're in home, you could just thrust it up as hard as you can, right? And another way, the reason I have the chair here is to isolate that. So you can have a medicine ball like this and just, so it's only using your arms. And you want to really focus on explosion and think about even bringing it behind your head like a tomahawk, because a lot of times we go here and we don't realize we're not using all the extension we can. So we want to use all the extension. And you could use, without a ball, just sitting or just standing, and just thrust your arms up. And I know it seems a little ridiculous, but it's also just a mindset. It's also just understanding that that's an isolated muscle you can use in your jumping. Let's go to the next one. All right, so the next one is technique, and you don't need very much space at all for this, but what you can do is work on both plants. So pretend you have a rim if you don't have a rim, but look up and just work on your technique, and you could really work on the speed that will translate into your full approach jumping with just one step. So that was a left-right, and you could do right-left. And I have videos on the full technique of how to jump properly off 2 feet, but what I'm practicing today is just the speed of the takeoff and just the positioning. So we have that arm swing, thrust it back, land, and just make those last 2 steps as fast as possible. And there's plenty of exercises you can do for technique. Another one is off the chair. With the chair, you can step off a platform and just think about like you're about to take off. And it helps you really hear that, the really simultaneous landing that you're about to take off. Not the landing, but the landing off the box, but the plant that you're about to take off from. Boom. And really focus on that technique, stabilize the core, which we'll talk about soon, and get ready for your takeoff. And another piece of the technique that you can work from anywhere is the rhythm. So you don't actually need to jump to work on your technique. You can approach the rim, boom, and really get that rhythm. And that rhythm, the steps, the patterns, those will really help your technique overall and your max jumping, because if you can practice that rhythm and get that ingrained, you don't have to think about it. So when it's jump day and you're really going to start jumping, you're going to have patterns carved. Just like running, if you're running and you're trying to run a sprint, you don't need to sprint every day to get faster. But if you're running and you're doing movements that are similar and you're getting blood flow in there and you're getting your patterns correctly and you're focusing on your footwork and your placement, then when you go for your sprints, all those are going to be very, very well carved into your body so you can sprint your best. All right, the next one, this one is really important for every single athletic movement you do, and you can't work it enough. The more, the better, and it's the core, okay? Why do you need a strong core? It helps you absorb that impact when you're running full speed, and boom, and plant, because if not, you're gonna collapse and you're not gonna be able to use all the energy you're pushing into the ground through your body. The force is coming up through your body and you need to handle that. So 2 things about core. You want to get it super strong, but you also want to get it really conditioned, so that way it can last during the whole game. Because if it's just strong, you're going to have like 1 or 2 jumps and it's going to collapse. So you need to work on both. So to do both, the strength will come from an ab wheel or crunches and movements. And if you have an ab wheel, you can slide this, but if you don't have an ab wheel, you could just walk your hands out, but you want to keep your core tight the whole time. So flex it the whole time and just walk all the way out. Ooh, I'm feeling it. And then come back and you'll feel it kind of thickening and getting stronger, right? But then you could just do a plank and hold it on your forearms. And then you could also do side planks like this on both arms. Keep your hips high. But the point is with the planks is try to hold them as long as you can. The longer you hold them, the more you make progress, the more conditioned. You're gonna get ripped as well, which is a great feeling, great bonus. but the longer they're conditioned, the healthier they're gonna be, and it's gonna be more efficient with your body. That's how you get the lean in your body, and if you're able to do that with your core, you can understand it with your other muscles, and the more efficient and lean your muscles are, the more explosive you can be. So really important to work on your core. Try it in different ways. Do the isometric type movements like a plank, like a side plank, to really hone in on that conditioning. Long it, push yourself mentally as well to hold it as long as you can and keep making progress. And when it comes to core, the more the better. Yes, if it's sore, you might not jump your highest, but it's always going to be great. Like, you don't want your upper body to be huge or your body to be too huge for jumping, but when it comes to core, you're not gonna get it too big. You don't have to worry about gaining weight from getting so strong with the core. So the stronger, higher endurance your core can handle, the higher you can jump. Let's go. All right, last but certainly not least, one of the best exercises you can do anywhere, especially with just your body. It's a fantastic exercise that translates the arm swing, the core, the technique into one movement, and you just push yourself, and it's very safe. It is the sprint. So what I mean by the sprint is just all out sprinting as fast as you can, and the longer the better. About a 40-yard dash up to a 100-yard dash. Just sprinting is gonna be a lot of explosive movements from every part of your body. Your arms are churning, your legs are hitting impact after impact, and that is going to make every part of your body fast, twitch, explode at its most explosive. So there's a few tips for sprinting that I want you to notice. So one is, I want you to really have that technique down with the dorsiflexion. Try to notice what it is. If you have to go slow at first, just work on some technique. But the thing about it is, I want you to push as hard as you possibly can sprinting. Run as fast as you possibly can. The faster you run, the higher you will jump, because it's very similar in the way it translates your speed into explosiveness. So for example, when you're running as fast as you can, if you're timing yourself at a 40-yard dash, it's a very good mindset to have, similar to jumping, because when you try to beat your time, you have to just run faster than you've ever run before, and that's the same thing with jumping. So if you can't jump, your technique's not that great. Sprinting is a lot safer, meaning there's not much you can really do wrong in a sprint, and you could do it anywhere. You don't need a goal, you just need a time, and you have your internal feeling of how hard you're pushing. Just push yourself as hard as you possibly can. You're not shooting for a goal unless you're timing yourself, but my point is, you're not trying to reach for something. You don't have to worry about all this different technique. You're not trying to dunk, you're not trying to catch a ball. You're just pushing yourself as hard as you possibly can. So sprint your heart out, push yourself, do about 6 to 8 sprints once you're fully warmed up, and just notice how well your body feels, how hard it's worked. You're gonna get your toes, you're gonna get your ankles, you're gonna get your calves, you're gonna get your quads, you're gonna get your hamstrings. Everything is working up through the core, through the arm swing. Even the chest is moving because you're thrusting in the shoulders. Everything is working in a sprint. So push yourself to the max, do the most you can, and do that a couple times a week, and do these different exercises, and this will help you jump higher, and you didn't even jump once. All right, guys, that's today's video. Don't forget to leave a comment with any questions you have or any comments. We'll get back to you ASAP, and I hope to see you next week. Let's go.
On a roll, here we go, here we